Oh, what's up, guys? My thing wasn't working at first, but we're chilling. We back. Okay, we should be on. Should be good. Should be good to go. Okay. So, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. As per usual, we do have a couple things to talk about before this podcast episode actually gets fully on your way. I don't have it written down, but I do want to say something. That every single day around 9 p.m., even though I haven't done it today, I'm going to do it after this podcast episode. I will be writing down the daily news for the NHL. So everything that happened in that day for the NHL news, like every signing, every trade, every extension, every new captain, every important thing that happened in the NHL will be written down by me in the NHL news channel in my Discord server. If you haven't already joined it, join it. It's called the Intermission Podcast Blog Discord server. Go ahead and join that if you haven't. So that is cool. I did it for yesterday's. I'm gonna do it again for today's after today's podcast episode. So yeah, that's cool to have a daily checkup. So everybody is in my Discord server is fully caught up on what is happening around in the world of the NHL. So we got one thing to go over actually, and it's a trade, a big trade. The Yaroslav Askarov trade. I think that's how you say his name. Askarov is his last name for sure. Let's look at this trade. Hold up. The Yaroslav Askarov sweepstakes are over. Welcome to San Jose. San Jose Sharks receive goalie Yaroslav Askarov, who was arguably the best goalie prospect in the world. NHL goalie prospect. At the very least, the second best. So, top two best goalie prospects in the league. Interchangeable team 1 and 2 with Jesper Wallstad. So, Sharks receive him, a 2025 third-round pick, Colorado, and forward Nolan Bork. Nashville receives forward David Edstrom, a 2025 first-round pick, Vegas Golden Knights conditional, and Magnus Corona. Not Corona. Yeah, I think that is actually how you say it. Yeah, there was more of an in-depth thing about it. Okay. Let's find this here. Oh, and San Jose signs Askarov to a 2-year, $2 million extension that kicks in after next season. So yeah, that's interesting too. They traded for him and they got him locked up for 2 years, technically 3 because it kicks in after. I might not have retraded it. I might not have reposted it. Then that's interesting. That's fine. So yeah, today we are going to be grading every team's first line, right wing, and left wing combination. Somebody did give me this suggestion on TikTok on one of my first TikTok videos. I gotta find his name. If I gotta shout him out real quick, hold up. Hold up. I think I have an idea of who it is, but I don't, not 100% sure exactly who did it, but I'm checking through all my comments on all my TikTok videos to see if I can find them. I think it's MD. Oh no, it's DP. It's DP on TikTok. Shout out to DP on TikTok. He said you should rank wings pairs for the NHL. And then I said, like the right wing and left wing that plays together, you're like the two best wingers on that team. The right wing and left wing who play together, he said. So basically, for this team, hold up. So for this team, I would do Alex Coron and Troy Terry because it's a right wing and left wing combination for the first line. See what I'm saying? So shout out to DP on TikTok for the suggestion. I will be taking suggestions from on TikTok, these YouTube chats, YouTube comment sections after I on YouTube Shorts after these live streams are done, on Facebook, on X, and any social media, on any of my pages on my social medias. You can what are you gonna say? Oh yeah, you can give me suggestions and I'll look at them. I'll comment back and say, I might say, oh, I don't know. We'll have to figure that out if this works. You'll say, great, thank you for the suggestion. I will use that. So yeah, we're gonna do that. But let's actually get into the podcast episode. Oh no, I have to write down left wing and right wing first line. Okay. I'm going to write this down in my notes real quick so I can keep track of these. So I can upload these on TikTok. I don't know if I think I'm going to upload these on TikTok tomorrow. Because it's Saturday, so I don't go to school. So that's fine. So Buffalo. And then it's Calgary, Carolina, Chicago, Colorado, CBJ, Dallas, Detroit Red Wings, Edmonton Oilers, Florida Panthers, Los Angeles Kings, Minnesota Wild, Montreal Canadiens, Nashville Predators, New Jersey Devils, and then it's New York Islanders, New York Rangers, San Jose Sharks, Seattle Kraken, St. Louis Blues, and it's Tampa Bay, Toronto, Utah Hockey Club, Vancouver, Vegas Golden Knights, Washington Capitals, and Winnipeg Jets. I think I got them all. Okay, so I wrote down all the teams so I can keep track of these grades so I can look back at these tomorrow when I upload my TikToks. So yeah, I'll upload these TikToks sometime tomorrow. I don't know exactly when. It kind of depends on when I really feel like it. Honestly, I'm gonna try to do it as soon as possible. Should we read this? Sharks acquire Yaroslav Askarov from the Predators? Nah. Okay, we're gonna jump straight into it. Anaheim, Coron and Troy Terry. Alex Coron is a good veteran player that can get you 50 to 60 points, especially playing on the first line minutes. And Troy Terry can get you around 60, 65 points as well. Probably, I would say about 70-ish points, 60 to 70 points. Both very good players, but if we're comparing them to other wing combinations, I'm going to give them a B-. A solid B-. B- is not bad if you know grading systems, which I feel like everybody should, because I hope everybody went to school. Yeah, I hope so. If there's access to, if it's available to you where you lived, and so yeah. Anyways, you're not gonna get in the whole shenanigans. Yeah, Buffalo is up next. Not Buffalo. Boston's up next. Close enough. Pastrnak, Zacha. Pastrnak really carries this grading for me. Pastrnak is a 50 to 60 goal scorer, 100 110 point scorer. Zacha, he can get you 60, 70 points, 20, 25 goals. But you would like to see better left winger if you would want to get a higher grade on my list. Obviously, they don't care about how high of a grade they get on my list. But I'm just saying. So I think I'm gonna give it A- by default, just because of the fact that how good David Pastrnak is, and Zacha's good too. But you would like to see a better duo, not just a solo, not just one guy being really good for this ranking. If they're both very, very good, it would be an A+, but A-, just kind of by default because David Pastrnak's there. Buffalo is up next. Buffalo. Alex Tuck and JJ Patuka. JJ Patuka is probably going to look at, I would go as far as say 60 to 65 points. Tuck can get you 60, 70 points. Both very good. But for comparing them to other, I'm giving them a B plus. Right under Boston's because Alex Tuch and JJ Paterka are both probably just as good as Pavel Zacha, if not maybe slightly better. Ever so slightest bit, and then obviously David Pasternak's on Boston, so I can't rate him as good, especially not higher than Boston's, but it's still very, very good. Calgary Flame. I don't know why my computer's taking so long to load. It really doesn't have that much going on. It has 2 browsers open and my OBS studio open. That's it. That's all it's got open. Yeah. Jonathan Huberdeau and Blake Coleman. I'm not gonna lie, he's kind of mid. I would say C plus. If we're comparing this left wing and right wing first line combination, among others, it's not good. Jonathan Huberdeau probably gonna get you 50, 60 points because he's how washed he's been in the past couple seasons. He's not playing good defense. Blake Coleman can get you probably around the same. I would say 50, probably like 40, 50 points, probably a little more than that. He's good, great. I would say 50, 60 points. They're both good players, but if we're talking compared to others, I would even go down to C. Just C. Could even go lower than that, but I'm gonna give it a C. So yeah, C for Calgary. That's going on TikTok. If that end up being the worst, I think it will end up being the worst. The only team that else I would think might be worse is the Sharks, and they have Tyler Toffoli, so probably not gonna be worse. But yeah, it's probably going on TikTok. Tomorrow. Under Snechikov and Seth Jarvis. Seth Jarvis is a very good player. He's probably going to get you 70 to 80 points. Snechikov, if he's fully healthy, probably get you 70 to 80 points. Jarvis is actually probably going to get you like 68 to 73 points-ish area. And then Snechikov can get you 70, 75 points. Probably, I would say 70 to 80 points, probably around the point per game range. So I think I'm going to give that a B. B plus. I don't think I want to quite give it quite as good as the great as Boston's, but I don't want to give it any lower than Buffalo's, so I think I'm going to give it a B plus. Actually, I think I'm going to lower Buffalo's down to a B. I think that's the... So Carolina's B plus, Buffalo's B. I think that's fair because I think Carolina's is better than Buffalo's. Left wing and right wing first line combination, so yeah. Chicago Blackhawks. Sometime today, maybe you can load. Chicago Blackhawks. Teuvo Teravainen and Tyler Bertuzzi. I don't think these guys are going to stay in the same line all season. I hope they do for Connor Bedard's sake. But if this is what it's projected to be, so I'm going to grade it as it is. And I think I'm going to give it a B. It's solid. Bertuzzi can get you 60, 70 points. Very, very hard-working player. Teravainen can get you around 60, 70 points as well. He's also a very hard worker. Both much improvement from Philip Kurashev, and then whoever he played with last year. Avalanche. I can already tell you who it is before it even loads here. It's Mikko Rantanen, Jonathan Drouin. Yes, Mikko Rantanen is a 90 to 100 point scorer. Jonathan Drouin, especially with the resurgence of him with Nathan McKinnon, I would honestly go as far to say 70 to 75 points. 60 to 70 points. 60 to 70 points. So I think I'm going to give it, an A minus, kind of by default, because Mikko Rantanen is very good. So yeah. Columbus Blue Jackets. I did not mean to click on the stars. They're like loaded there. Weirdly, I don't know. Daily line combinations. Please go. Oh no. We did this last stream. Looked at my mods for this browser. It's not really cool. It's really not. It's nothing special. Nothing that you guys can like want to see. It's not like a face reveal. I mean, you actually know what my face looks like because it's in the Noah Powell interview. Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, Johnny Gaudreau and Kirill Marchenko. I would give that like a B minus, not C plus. Because if Johnny Gaudreau maybe had a bit of a resurgence, instead of getting 50 to 60 points a season, maybe he went back to Calgary days, get 80 to 90 points. That would be crazy, though. He's not going to get that. I'm expecting 60, 70 points out of Gaudreau. And then Marchenko can get you 50, 60 points. So C+, slightly better than Calgary's, but not by much. Not by much at all. Okay, Dallas. Taylor Seguin, Jason Robinson, A. Not quite an A+, but an A. That's fine. That's fair, in my opinion. That's fair. Jason Robinson, on a good season, he can get you 90 to 100 points. Last season was a bit of a downy, but he could probably get you 90 to 100 points. And Taylor Seguin can get you 70 to 80 points as well. You're not as well, but he can get you 70 to 80 points as well. Jason Robinson put up around 100 points. 90 to 100 points on a good season, what he's supposed to be doing. Hopefully has a bit of a resurgence. Lucas Raymond and DeBrincat. I'm not going to lie, that's an A. It is. Alex DeBrincat is, I would say, 75 to 82-ish points range, I feel. And then Lucas Raymond are probably around the same, 70 to 80 points. So yeah, I would give an A. I'll give an A-, actually. I think I'm going to give an A-. Edmonton Oilers is Zach Hyman and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, actually. I would give that an A- as well. Zach Hyman scored 50-plus goals last season. He's not going to do that again. I'm expecting 30 to 40 goals, probably around the 40-goal mark, 30 to 40 goals. So next season, for him, and then Nugent Hopkins also is a former 100-point scorer. I'm expecting 70 to 80 points out of him next season. 80 to 90 points out of Hyman, probably, since he's playing with McDavid. I would say 80 to 85 points for RNH and 80 to 90 points for Zach Hyman. So similar stats I'm expecting, but RNH to get more assists and Hyman to get more goals. So yeah. I give him an A-, by the way, in case you didn't hear me. It was A-. Bro, what is happening? Just back. Oh my god, bro. Okay. It's not really that big of a deal, but Florida Panthers. I think it's Matthew Tkachuk and Reinhardt. No, it's Carter Verhaeghe and Sam Reinhardt. Okay. A-. 3 straight A-. Verhaeghe probably can get you 70 to 80 points for playing good defense. Reinhardt probably can get you 30 to 40 goals while putting up 70 to 80, probably 80 to 87 points-ish on the season. So, I mean, yeah, he's very good wing combination, I guess. Wing combination. Yep, there you go. How long's this episode been? Like 18 minutes-ish is what it says, but I don't know if that's spot on. Probably not. Quentin Byfield, Adrian Kempe. I think I'm going to give it a B+. I think Byfield's going to go for 65. I would say 63 to 71 points. I would say 63 to 71 points next season, around that range. Adrian Kempe is probably going to put up around 70 to 80 points next season. They're both good defensively. I'm expecting a big breakout year from Quentin Byfield, which you would like to be slightly more star power, I guess, to be higher grade. So yeah, that's why they're a B+ right now. But Minnesota's up next. Minnesota Wild. Hey, if I can back here. I don't know why my computer is running. It's not really running slow now since I said it, but like loading into here, it's been slow kind of throughout the podcast episode so far, but it's fine. Kirill Kaprizov. I'm expecting Kirill Kaprizov to get 90 to 100 points next season. I would say around 91 to 103 points, anywhere in that range. For Kirill, and the Magic Kirill can get probably 70 to 80 points next season, especially when he's playing with Kirill Kaprizov and Marco Rossi. I think I'm going to give that a B+ as well. I'm about to give that a B++ just to be better than the Kings. I think I'm going to give the Kings just a B. And then I'm going to lower it down to just a B. I think that's fair. I don't think they're quite as good as the Wild just because Kirill Kaprizov is there, and that's kind of by default. Montreal Canadiens. Okay. Kyle Field-Safkowski, great. Again, another A-. Really, Caulfield can get 32 to 41 goals next season. He could honestly get more than that, but I'm expecting around 32 to 41 goals next season. And then Slafkowski can get you 70, probably going to get around 70 to 80 points next season while putting up a solid 25 to 30 goals. So yeah, I think that's a very good win combination. A- for Montreal. I heard this hot take on a YouTuber's video. I'm not going to say his name though. But you can find it if you really care that much. He had the Red Wings blow the Canadiens. And I'm going to go as far to say as I agree with him. Okay, this is not about the podcast episode. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to pull up these line combinations and we're going to compare them side to side. Detroit Red Wings and Montreal Canadiens. It's not part of the podcast episode. I mean, it is because it's in the podcast episode. But it's not a part of the actual title and what we're doing in this podcast episode. We're going to go kind of off topic here. And compare the Canadiens roster to the Detroit Red Wings. Okay, we're going to go by top six. We're going to compare the top six, bottom six, defense, and goaltending. Okay, we're going to compare it. Top six. Oh, man, that's tough. They're both so good. And then we need a slight edge of the Red Wings just because they're more established top six. But I could totally see Montreal Canadiens top six being better. Bottom six. Rasmussen, Kopp, Bergen, hold up. And then if we compare them to here, the slightest bit of towards in the favor of the Red Wings. Okay, so forward core, Red Wings, okay. Not by much. Practically on the dot, but I'll get a slight edge of the Red Wings if I have to choose, because I am choosing. Defense, though. Montreal Canadiens defense blows them out the water. Let me explain why. Matheson's probably going to get around 50 to 60 points next season. Caden Gooley is going to probably get around 30 to 40 goals. 30 to 40 points next season. And he's going to play phenomenal defense as well. And he's going to play great. He's very physical. Lane Hutson's probably going to come in and put around 30 to 40 points. Great second line left defenseman coming in this rookie season. Savard's probably going to get around 20, 30 points. Sheriff is very, very good defense and physical. I'm not very familiar with Justin Barron. But if we look at the Red Wings defense, Mo Seider's obviously stud. He's going to get 70 to 80 points next season. Probably about a point per game, I would say. But Ben Chiarot compared to Mike Manson is not good. The depth, Edmonton's good. But outside of Jeff Petrie, Oli Mata, Eric Gustafson, Justin Holl, if he plays, I don't know. Those 3 to 4 guys, it's not good. Would you rather have Petrie, Mata, Gustafson, and Justin Holl? Or would you rather have Lane Hudson, Dennis Savard, Gooley, right? Gooley. It's definitely the Canadiens. And goaltending is the Canadiens. Would you rather have Cam Talbot, Alex Lyon, or Samuel Montembeault and Primo, however you say that? Canadiens, right? And the coach is one of the best coaches in the NHL. Canadiens, Martin St. Louis, one of the best coaches in the NHL. He's going to know how to run this team. He's going to know how to make them better. And I know it makes me more confident in it that I know that I'm not the only person that's not high in the Red Wings. The defense outside of Mo Seider is arguably bottom 5 in the league. Goaltending, arguably a bottom 5 goalie tandem in the league, honestly. And the forward core is good, but so is Canadiens. The Canadiens forward core is just as good. And the Canadiens defense and goaltending are much better. So yeah, I explained that. I'll explain that like when we get I would say around a little less than a month, so I'd say like a couple weeks when I do my final 2024-2025 NHL season predictions, like a week before preseason, maybe even less than that. We are going to be doing that, and I'll be explaining more in depth about each team and why I have them where I do. That also reminds me, I'm really excited now about preseason. I'll be starting what I'm going to do in the regular season in the preseason. So every single day, starting, okay, so I'm going to make predictions for the opening day in preseason, okay? I'm going to make predictions the day before. And then after, like the next day, during those preseason games, after preseason games, I don't know. I will be talking about those games. Oh, I don't know, because when I do my podcast, it might be during some of those games. Depends when I do it. If I start before those games, which I probably won't because I have school. So I'm probably gonna, well, maybe if I get home and do it right away, but I probably won't. If I do it like right as the game starts, I do like my final predictions, get them out there. And then the next day, I would probably go over them, the games before, kind of recap them, and then make my predictions for the current days. Maybe the next day, I don't know. We'll have to figure it out when we get there, but yeah. We'll get it when we get there, because it really depends on when I start my podcast. Forsberg and Nyquist is pretty good, but compared to some of the others, it's not the best. I would say to B+. Forsberg's probably going to get around 70 to 80. I would say about 80 to 85 points. Nyquist's going to get around 70 to 80 points as well. 70 to 80 points. So, yeah, very, very good. Devils. It's crazy that preseason starts in like less than a month. Before we do the Devils, I'm going to look at the NHL app real quick and see. Opening day is October 4th for the regular season. Let's go back and see opening day for preseason. Oops. Saturday, September 21st. So literally in like, so 31, okay, so I don't know. It would be, it's about 29 days away. So it's literally about a month away. So about a little bit under a month away from preseason hockey. That's hype, bro. We got about a month away. We're getting there. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna get to the Devils here. Devils, Brat and Plot. Brat's very good. He's probably gonna get you around 70 to 80 points, while getting 30 to 35 goals. Plot's probably gonna get around 70-ish points, while getting like 20, 25 goals. So I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm gonna give this a B+ as well. I think B+ is pretty fair. New York Islanders. Barzal and Duclair. Barzal's probably going to get around 80 to 90 points next season. We'll put it up around 25, 30 goals. Duclair is going to put up probably around 70 to 80 points. Of putting up 20 to 25 goals. So I think I'm going to give it a B+ as well. B++. I'm going to give it a B++. Doesn't mean it's better than like no A-. It's not. It's just better than a B+. I don't want to give it quite an A- because I don't think it's quite on the level of like Edmonton's, Florida's, Boston's, etc. But I think it's slightly better than like Nashville's, New Jersey's, not New Jersey's. What was I gonna say? Like New Jersey or something? No, I meant to say New Jersey. It's not as good as it's better than theirs actually. So yeah, B++. That's great. Coach Kreider and Riley Smith. Riley Smith definitely dragged it down. I think I'm gonna give it like a B. Kreider, I think I'm going to give it just a B. Kreider's probably going to get around 70 to 80 points. Riley Smith's probably going to get around 60, 70 points. So, yeah, I think I'm going to give it a B. San Jose. San Jose is really the only competition for Calgary for how bad the wing combinations is. But they have Tyler Toffoli on their left wing. So, I mean, it can't be worse than Calgary's. At least their right wing, like, Zetterlund's actually pretty decent. I think Toffoli's going to get around 60, 70 points. Zetterlund's probably going to get around 60, I would say around 53 to 61 points-ish, around that area, probably. Maybe a little bit more on the higher scale, like if he gets higher. On the higher, like, I would say around 53 to 64 points, I would say. Maybe even higher than that, I don't know. I think I would give it like a B-. No higher, though, because Zetterlund, you would like to be better on that right wing if you want to get a higher grade, but Toffoli definitely raises it, and Zetterlund's good, too. Wait, I skipped the Senators. Oh my god, I keep doing this. Ottawa, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh. We're gonna act like I didn't do that. I mean, we are gonna act like I did that because I did already grade it. But we're just gonna skip back, and then when we get to San Jose after these three teams, we'll just skip over San Jose. The Chuck and Giroux. I think that if San Jose is a B minus, this has got to be a B, B plus. No B, just B. The Chuck's gonna get probably around 70 to 80 points of playing very good physically, very physical, and great guy. Great player, not great guy. I don't know how he is as a person. Great player. Claude Giroux's probably gonna get around 60, 70 points too. So a B. Philly's up next. Philadelphia. About 31-minute episode going on there. Michikov and Forster. B minus. Michikov's probably going to get around 50, 60 points. Forster's probably going to get around 55 to 65 range. Yeah, I would say B minus. It's not really all that impressive. Pittsburgh. Brian Rust and Ricard Raquel. C plus, not quite as bad as Calgary's, but Raquel probably gonna get around 50, 60 points. You would like to see him bounce back, and Brian Rust probably gonna get around 50, 60 points as well. So C plus, no higher. Only if we're accounting Sidney Crosby. Okay. Seattle. See, now we would be on San Jose if I didn't do them before those three teams. We're going to skip over them because we already did it. I've done them. Seattle, Jordan Eberle and Jared McCann. B. Just B. I was going to say B minus, but San Jose Sharks is B minus. I can't give them any lower than Sharks. So, yeah. B for Seattle. Jared McCann's probably going to, I would say, around 60, 70 points next season. And Eberle is probably going to get around 61 to 68 points-ish. Probably a little bit more, but we'll have to see. So that's a B for Seattle. St. Louis is up next. St. Louis Blues. I'm very low in St. Louis Blues compared to some. Most are actually too. Jordan Kyrou Neighbors. I actually think that's really good. I'm gonna give it a B plus because Kyrie's probably gonna get around 70. I would say 68 to 72 to 81 ish. And then Neighbors is probably gonna get around 70, 80 points too. So yeah. Tampa Bay Lightning. Jake Guentzel and Nikita Kucherov. There we go. A plus. First A plus of the day, maybe the last. Guentzel's probably going to put up around 8, anywhere from 88 to 93 points. I would probably say this next season. And Kucherov can put up anywhere from 93 to 110, I would say around 93 to 113 points really is how his points range will go, especially how good this line is and how good the power play is. So Guentzel and Kucherov as the wing combination for Tampa Bay on the first line, very, very nice. A plus. That's going on TikTok too. Yeah, TikTok. Okay. Anyways, Carolina. Not Carolina. What? Carolina. I don't know what I'm talking about. Toronto. We're reaching the end. There's 6 teams left, including Toronto. Marner, nice. I actually really like it. I think I'm going to give it a solid A. Marner's probably going to get around 90 to 80 points. It was probably about 30 goals, 25 goals. So it's about 25 goals and 80 assists. 105 points. So it'd be probably around 25 goals and 25 goals and 70 assists. Probably around that range for around 95 points. So yeah. And then Nice probably going to put around 68 to 83 points. Hockey Club. Schmaltz and Keller, I do really like it. I'm going to give it an A-. Keller's probably going to put up around 79. I'm thinking around 78 to 85 points, I would say, for Clayton Keller. That's his point range. Nick Schmaltz is probably going to get around 78 points. I would say around 68 to 78. That's really his point range. Anywhere from around those 10 points, that 10-point range, I would say. Canucks, Besser and Hoglander. I think I'm going to give that an A- as well. Hoglander probably going to get around 68 to 75 points. Besser's going to get around 79 to 87 points with around 30 to 35 goals. So yes, very, very good. Vegas Golden Knights. Olofsson and Barbashev. It's pretty good. I think I'm gonna give it a B+. Barbashev's probably gonna put around 63 points to 77. What was the first thing I said? Like 60. I would say like 63 to 77 points. It really depends on how he plays. Olofsson probably put up around 67 to 78. Really just depends how he plays and how Jack Eichel plays. If he stays healthy, same thing with Barbashev. Really just depends. Washington and Winnipeg are the two last teams remaining on this grading list tier thing. I don't know. Tom Wilson and Ovechkin. I think I'm gonna give it around a B. Wilson's probably gonna put up around 60. I would say like 58 to 63. 63 all the way up to like 71 points. Well, point very physical. Ovechkin's probably gonna put up around 68 to 83 points, while putting up probably, I'm gonna say, around 25 to 30 goals probably. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a B. Last team, Winnipeg Jets. About 37-minute episode so far. We were on the last team and we didn't do this all podcast episode, and then it does this. And why is it taking awfully long to get back on? Okay, we're fine. Yeah, whole podcast episode. Last team is when it decides to do it. Velarde and Kyle Connor. I think I'm going to give this around a B+. Kyle Connor's probably going to get, if he stays fully healthy, around 78 to 85 points. Gabriel Velarde's probably going to get around 68 to 79 points. So that's going to do it for today's podcast episode. I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit to end stream. Tomorrow, we will be doing a tier list on every NHL team's captain. Obviously, every NHL team that has a captain. Every captain in the NHL based on skill, not their leadership. So based on purely how good of a hockey player they are, nothing to do with how good of a leader they are and how good of a captain they are. That's tomorrow's podcast episode. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for tomorrow's podcast episode. It's a Saturday, so I can do it literally whenever I want. So I will see you guys tomorrow for episode 8. Episode 8, yes, it'll be episode 8 because it's episode 7. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for episode 8. Peace.